हाय स्टूडेंट्स, आप सब कैसे हैं? उम्मीद है सब ठीक ही है। तो हम हमारा क्लास का जो सिलसिला हम जारी रखे हैं। तो टुडे विल डिस्कस अगेन वन मोर इम्पोर्टेंट पार्ट फ्रॉम आवर सेकंड चैप्टर, that is principles of management. As I have been telling you from the beginning of this chapter that management principles has a great contribution in the world of management. Now today we'll discuss about one particular person who has a great contribution in the world of management. His name is Henry Foyle. Now Henry Foyle was a Frenchman. Basically he was born in France in 1860. By profession he was not the person who is having a link with the management world. Basically his graduation was taken in a mining engineering, so he was basically an engineer, but he has a great contribution in the world of management, and that is why he has considered as a father of management due to his these great contributions. As like this you can see in board, he has given a 14 general principles to the world of management, and depending upon these 14 principles till date the management world are being existing or evolving around. तो आज हम ये 14 प्रिंसिपल्स जो है वो हम डिस्कस करने वाले हैं वन बाय वन, और आपको जनरल मैनेजमेंट के दुनिया के बारे में थोड़ा आइडिया देने की कोशिश करेंगे एज प्रोफाउंडेड बाय हेनरी फॉयल. Now again I am telling you students must not get any confusion. Henry Foyle was the father of general management, and Frederick Winslow Taylor, that is FWD Taylor, is considered to be as the father of scientific management because he has contributed a lot to the world of management related to science. So he was said to be as a father of scientific management, and Henry Foyle is considered to be as a father of general management. Now as you can see in board, there are 14 principles written from 1 to 14. I hope you can see. Now these 14 principles has a great impact upon the management process, because any manager, if he want to do the function of management, that is planning, organizing, staffing, directing and controlling, that we have seen, that manager or that management must follow these principles, because these principles are some base, as I have been saying from the beginning only, depending upon which, ये एक आधार है जिसके आधार पे हम हमारा जो परिचालना होते हैं उसको हम करते हैं. So that is the base, or depending upon this base or these sources or support only the managements are being done. Now we'll discuss the principles. That is, number one is division of work. So Foyle say that if you want to bring the management's efficiency and effectiveness in your activity, then you must divide the work. Division of work means divide the work. Now divide the work means what? A work should be divided according to the various working activities for a completion of a particular task. That means the intent of division of work is to produce more and better work for the same effort. From the same effort means division of works makes a worker to work more in with the same effort. So this is the main theme regarding the division of work. Means worker can perform more efficiently if it is divided into different tasks, and each task is being performed by a specialized or a trained worker. So I am giving you an example. Say for example, if a person is being taken for the work of this one accountancy, that means I want to say that accounts, then he must be uh, put to the work of these accounts according to the grade or capacity of his working uh, capabilities. Or I can say one more example. Say if anyone is working in a factory, then that particular person should do the work for which he has been selected. That means if he is a machine runner, then he should be given to run the machine, not to say do bringing the raw materials and all. So division of work basically means divide the work in a different tasks, and each task should be given to the particular person who is specialized for that particular task and trained for that. Then this will bring the efficiency and effectiveness. Next, number 2 is authority and responsibility. So authority and responsibility are the two sides of a single coin. That means if a person is given the authority, then he must also have the responsibility. Authority means power to take decisions, and responsibility means obligations to carry out the job or to carry out the assigned job. So this is the meaning. Authority means is the power to take decisions, and whereas responsibility means obliged, अधिकार दायित्व जिसको बोलते हैं उसको संपूर्ण करना. Again, third one is discipline. So discipline, I hope you have been hearing from the very beginning of your education life, that is from class 1 onwards. Discipline everywhere, whether it may be in a home, it may be in a classroom, it may be in any organized group, there must be discipline. Discipline is means obedience to the organizational rules and regulations. Discipline means just to maintain the rules and regulation of the different organizations where you are working. Discipline means, say for example, whenever you are in class, if a teacher is present, then you must be silent, you must be looking forward to your teachers what he is saying. You should not do anything that should not be done in the classroom. So discipline is means that only. So there must be discipline. Henry Fayol said that there should be discipline. And number 4 and number 5, unity of command and unity of direction. Now what is this unity of command? Unity of command means unity, I hope you understand, of command. Command means जो आदेश देते हैं, order करते हैं. So this command, there should be a single command, there should be a single unity in the command. If I say for example, if a boss is saying something, that subordinates or the supervisor should also do the work according under him. There should not be two type of direction or two type of command. So that is the meaning unity of command. Unity of command should be there. There should not be two word or two types of commanding orders. Then unity of directions. If the boss is commanding in some way, in the similar way some direction should be provided. Similarly, the superior or the means assistant director or assistant to the boss should also give the proper direction, not giving any direction that is making the workers confusion. So that is the meaning. See, unity of this one directions helps how you know. So unity of direction brings unity in action and coordination in the organizations. Say for example, if a company is manufacturing two different products, it should have two different separate division of departments for both the separate products. Say for example, a company is producing product A and product B, then this company must have two different departments, not under the single departments. So that is the meaning of directions. And number 6, subordination of individual interest to general interest. Now this means what? This principle means different peoples are coming to the organizations with their main self aim, with their self objectives. So it is the duty of the management that subordinate means if I have joined organizations for a better salary, then my aim is to earn better salary, but management's aim should not be that how I am, what is my objectives. They should try that subordination of individual interest to general interest. That means management's aim should be there, or objective should be there, that how the production is to be increased, or how the sales should be increased, or how to earn a more profit, so that the better salary can be paid to me. So that is the meaning of subordination of individual interest to general interest. And number 7, again Foyle said that remuneration of employees. That means what? If I have joined a organizations for a salary of 30,000, then the 30,000 should be a fair one for that particular work. If the work demands more than 30,000, then I should be paid the fair remuneration. That means remuneration of employees means what? Foyle said that উচিত দৰমহা দিব লাগে, প্ৰাপ্যটো দিব লাগে, নহ'লে কি হয় মানুহসকল যিসকলে কৰ্মচাৰী বা কাৰ্য কৰা মানুহসকলে ডিমোটিভেট হয়। এতিয়া কাৰ্যটোৰ অনুপৰি যদি সিহঁতে প্ৰাপ্য যিটো পাব লাগে সেইটো যদি নাপায়, তেতিয়াহ'লে তেখেতসকল কি হয় ডিমোটিভেট হয়। তেতিয়াহ'লে ডিমোটিভেট ৱৰ্কাৰ্ছ উইল ডেফিনেটলি ক্ৰিয়েট এ ডাউনৱাৰ্ডছ টু দ্য অৰ্গেনাইজেশ্যনছ। মানে সেইটোৱে ক'ব বিচাৰিছোঁ, দে মাষ্ট গেট এ ফেয়াৰ ৰেমুনাৰেশ্যন ফৰ দেট ৱৰ্ক, or whether it may be a salary, wages, whatever it is, they should get the fair one, so that the employees get the motivated and they think that the organization is their organizations, as not to think that they are the worker in the organizations. Then number 8, centralization and decentralizations. Centralization means हिंदी में केंद्रीयकरण और विकेंद्रीयकरण. Whenever any, that means we know there are a top level, middle level and lower level, these 3, top, middle and lower. We know that top levels are taking all the major decisions are being taken by the top level, and lower level execute accordingly, middle level and lower level also execute accordingly. So that is the meaning centralization and decentralization. There should not be, according to the Foyle, he want to say that there should not be 100% centralization or 100% decentralization. There must be a balance between this centralization and decentralization. Balance. If a worker is given the more authority, then he will simply misuse the power, and if he is given the more responsibility but no authority, then again he will be unable to complete his tasks. So centralization and decentralization, top level should not be such a rigid type of managers that they are not considering anything from the middle level or anything from the lower level. So that is the meaning of centralization and decentralization. Centralizations and decentralization must be balanced one, so that there is a coordination between the whole management's levels, and this is a better result for the organization to work in a different way and in an effective and efficient way. And the last one is scalar chain. Now what is this scalar chain? Scalar chain is something different than the other principle. These principles, according to these principles, Taylor says that this is the chain which is being followed in an organization. Say for example, this one, this is lower level management's A, middle level B, and this is O, P, Q. Now if this person wants to talk with this person, say Q, then it is not possible. Scalar chains will follow that A will tell to B, and B will tell to O will tell to P, and P will tell to Q. This is the meaning of scalar chain. That means authority and should be maintained. The A will always tell any conversation with the B because B is his boss, and B will again tell to O because O is his boss, and O will again give this order to P, and P will again tell to Q. So this is called as a scalar chain, which is being followed in a management hierarchy. Okay, so this is scalar chain should be maintained. That means one should not overtake other. When A should not directly talk to Q, or A should not talk to O. So this should not be followed. So this is the meaning of you should follow the order of the management. Order. Next one is 10 is order. So what is this order? Order means what, everything in a management there should be maintain a serial order. uh, Everything should be in a proper manner so that the works are being done in a better way. Orders are of, you can say, two types: material order and this one, social order. Material order means all the things should be machine or raw materials or all the equipment should be in a orderly manner. Say for example, I am telling you, if I enter into a class and a desk is in outside, tables are in a back side, and what, blackboards are in a floor, chalks are flooring here and there, so these are not the order. If I entered into the class, then I have to make the order of the classroom, then I have to take the class. So this order are of two types: social order and material order. Social order means the every people should be in a proper way. Say for example, if I entered into a HS first year class, and the HS first year, some of the students are in HS second year, and HS second year students are in HS first year, so there should not be a sequence. So that should be a social order. Social order means all the people should be in their departments and in their jobs, so that they can ensure a proper place or cabin or a seat where they will be doing their work. Now the equity means equal. There should be a proper equality among the various persons working in the different departments. There should not be any differentiation between the workers or differentiation between the different managers. So equality means I should look to every students in a same eye. Same eye means I should not differentiate the students in a different categories, like the good ones or a bad ones, or say for example boys and girls, or not the Hindus or Muslims. In this way I should not differentiate the students. So equality means I should look as all the students as my one students, not in a different eye. दो आँख से देखना नहीं चाहिए. So equality means what? So this will what motivate the employees, that the managements and employees are having a good relations. And number 12 is stability of personnel. So this is also one more important principles that has been propounded by Henry Fayol. In a organizations there should be a stability of personnel. This personnel means people, those who are coming to work in the organization. There should not be a means one coming to the organization and working for 3 months, again he left, again someone comes. So this should not be there. Stability should be there. If a person is working for a longer period of time, this is good for organization as well as for the person who is working also, because he will be knowing better to the organizations, and organization also know better to the particular person. So that should not be should be a stability in the personnel, those who are working, and this is a good focus or good path for the organizations, because this will create a longevityness in the organizations. And next, number 13 is initiative. So what is this initiative? Initiative means what, the people, those who are working in the organizations, that means workers should be encouraged to develop their own capacity or own plans for managements. So initiative means it should not be that I am a manager, I will be doing the planning, you are a worker, what do you know? So that types of mentality should not be there. So initiative means the top level management should take the initiative of the middle level as well as the lower level, because the actual condition of the middle level and the lower levels are not known by the top level. These are being known by the middle level and lower level. So initiative, or you can coordination, should be there among the different people working in the organization. So this is the meaning of initiative. And the last one is esprit de corps. Now what is this esprit de corps? This is a French word. Esprit de corps means unity, जिसको बोलते हैं एकता, जिसको बोलते हैं कि एक साथ. So esprit de corps means there must be a so this means what, according to Fayol, I am saying management should promote a team spirit of unity and harmony among employees. So These principles, according to Foyle, say that this principle is always trying to generate the team spirit, that we are one, we should work together, there is no differentiate between us, and this is creating a harmony. हारमोनी मतलब शांति, सबको मिलजुल के रहना चाहिए, और सभी को अपना एक ही ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, हम इस ये ऑर्गेनाइजेशन मेरा है, ये जो मनोभाव है इस पे लाने का काम करता है ये स्पिरिट दी कॉर्प्स. सो a bit longer video, I hope it is not possible to discuss in a single video all the principles, but I'm trying to give you some gist. If any problem, you can ask me in my WhatsApp number. Thank you.